cram, cram. Today we are going to talk about the word cram. It's a verb and it's also a noun. First, let's see the origin of the word. Cram. It comes from crammian in Old English. Crammian, crammian. And if you want to know more about that, we do have a video on the Old English verb crammian here in this channel. And that's because in this channel we go all the way from Old English until modern English. So if you want to check it out, just do it. Now, let's talk about cram as a verb. The first meaning, the most basic meaning of this verb is to thrust. To thrust one thing into another. So you can think of cram, cram. So imagine that you want to put something inside something else and there is no space, or there's not enough space, but you want to do it anyways. So you cram, right? You can say that a place is crammed, like a room. So the room is crammed. That's the same thing as saying the room is packed with people or the room is crowded. So the room is crammed, right? You can also say you want to cram a lot of information into a presentation. So let's suppose you have this presentation, you have to gather the basic info, but you feel like everything is important, so you add a lot of information to it. So you cram information into the presentation. You can think of cramming as, like, for example, let's say you have a tree and there is a hole in the tree and you want to put something in there and you cram it, like there's no space left, but you still want to make it fit. The second meaning of cram as a verb is to fill with food. So you can cram a piece of cake into your mouth. You can cram it. So you don't want to just eat it. You want to cram it. No, you can't even talk. You crammed it. You crammed it into your mouth. So you can't even talk. You crammed a piece of cake, right? So you can say, I crammed a piece of cake into my mouth. But there's another way of expressing that idea. You can say that you cram yourself with a piece of cake. So you crammed yourself with a piece of cake, right? Now, in British slang, very, very informal, you can say cram down. The meaning is the same. You cram down food, so you cram down a piece of cake. Okay, the third meaning of cram as a verb is to study, but not just studying like the way you study every day. It's to study quickly and hastily. Let's say you have an exam for next Friday, and today is Monday, and so you have many days to study, but you don't do it. You want to study Thursday night. That's bound to be a problem, right? So you will have to cram. You will have to study really, really fast, very quickly, right? So you cram, and you can say you cram for. You cram for an exam. You cram for an exam. Okay. Cram. You can also say that you are crammed. You are crammed by your teacher, because let's say your teacher only told you about this exam. Let's see. Today is Monday, and let's say the exam is for Tuesday, for tomorrow, and it was only today that you got to know about it. So you are crammed by your teacher because today, Monday, the lessons are different. You will just have to memorize things. So you are put into this memorization routine because tomorrow is the exam. Okay, now let's talk about cram as a noun. Cram can be a noun, and it can be just the act of cramming. So let's suppose you cram something. Let's suppose you're a bully. I hope you're not, but you're a bully and you have to cram this boy into a locker. Yeah, so the boy doesn't fit, but you have to make him fit. So you cram. So you have to do the cramming. So you have to do the cram, the act of cramming. Now, number two, remember the information you wanted to add to your presentation. That's also the cram. So the whole information is known as the cram. Okay. Now, there is another meaning. There is a game which is called the cram. The cram. Um, Maybe you're not familiar with that. So it's basically a piece of paper, a sheet, and you have dominoes, and you have to add them to this kind of grid. Yeah, I think I'll have a picture of it right here, somewhere here. You have to put dominoes on the paper, and you have to do it in a way that you win the game. So that game is a cram. Okay. There's another meaning for cram as a noun, which is a friendship book, but a friendship book with just a name. So what is a friendship book? A friendship book is a book, or sometimes just a sheet, in which you add your name, your address, and your interests. So you do all that and you pass it on to the next person, and the next person does the same and hands it to the next person, and so on. So there is this piece of paper with a lot of information about different people, their names, their address, their interests. So that's a friendship book. But if you want to just add your name, if there's just space for your name, that's a cram. That's a cram. That's a friendship book in which you can only write your name. So that's a cram. Well, now this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. We went through several meanings of the word cram. Some are very basic, like the basic meaning of thrusting one thing into another. When we talk about cramming for an exam, that's more advanced. So we have covered a lot of meanings for this word. Of course, there are other meanings for the word cram. We would have to stay here for several other minutes if we wanted to cover everything and give many examples. So I think this is enough for what we are trying to do here in the channel, which is going through words hopefully on a daily basis. So that's it. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like the video, please subscribe. It's very helpful. It helps me a lot with this work, and I hope to see you in our next video.